Hello, friends. Um, welcome to this wonderful Wednesday, January 18th. It's a beautiful day, and I'm really happy to be here with you today, doing our embodied cooking work practice. We've got a really loud truck going by at this exact moment. So we're going to start, as we always do, with some deep breathing. And I'd like to teach you a kind of what is a very standard breathing technique, which hopefully will serve you very well. It's a little bit more complicated than a lot of the ones that we've been doing. It's called Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. It's really effective for calming us down, slowing us down. I've also found it's just a great teacher. You can really notice sort of where your body's at, how you're doing when you breathe in this way. And it's really meant to balance you out between sort of the right and the left hemispheres of the brain as we breathe in through one nostril and then the next. So I'm going to take you through it very quickly. So bring our hand up and we're going to block our left nostril with our ring finger, sort of the best way to do it. We're going to bring our fingers down, and then when we get to it, we're going to block our right nostril with our thumb. So that's the deal. Sort of do. And whatever's most comfortable in terms of holding your hand up there, you can have your knuckles down or you can rest your fingers on your forehead. I actually really prefer to do that personally. That's most comfortable to me, but whatever works for you is perfect. So we're going to start by holding our hand up, breathing in deeply through both nostrils. Slowing the breath down as much as possible, as much as feels right for you. Not even possible. It's not something you're trying to get to. It's just taking that breath in slowly right up to the peak and then releasing it also through the nostrils, through both sides. Now on this next one, the inhale, we are going to block our left nostril and breathe in through our right. Again, long and slow as possible. Then just briefly pause at the peak, and we're going to block our right nostril and exhale out the left. At the bottom of the breath, we're going to breathe, inhale through the left. Pause at the peak, block the left nostril, and exhale through the right. Pause at the bottom. Inhale through the right. Pause, block the right nostril, and release through the left. Pause at the bottom. Inhale through the left. Pause at the peak and exhale out the right. Last round. Inhale through the right. Pause. And exhale out the left. Okay, and then bring your hand down. That is no Nadi Shodhana. tell you more about it sometime if anyone is interested. That was a very, very quick version. It's wonderful to do for longer, 5-10 minutes if you have the time, if it feels good to you. So much can sort of just be noticed about the quality of the breath in this, what sort of seemingly complicated process. There's something about the way that we have to slow down when we are using only one nostril. It brings up this sort of like, oh my gosh, am I going to get enough air? I often experience a little bit of panic, and then try to regulate that, work with that. It's very, very informative, and it's very calming, I find. Even as I say, it can bring up panic. It's like it can bring up panic, and at the same time, it can be calming. And sort of figuring out why you're feeling, for me, why I've been feeling panicky in something that is meant to be calming and slowing and relaxing and releasing has been very, very helpful for me to sort of get a sense of that. So now what are we going to do today? We are going to be making an omelet. And just sort of what we have around. I really wanted to do this kind of thing with you because this is really, often we do have something that is prepared, a plan of something that we want to make. We have a recipe picked out, but so much of cooking is sort of the everyday. It's just breakfast, what am I going to put together? And I want all of you to feel empowered to make sure that you can do it, that you feel good about it. Like, yes, I can feed myself whatever I want, make something without sort of requiring a recipe and those sorts of plans, but also that you can notice how pleasurable it also can be, in particular when you don't have a recipe, when you are just making something that is out of your mind and your experience, because you're not having to check on something. You're not there isn't somebody else's vision involved in it in any way. There aren't expectations. It's all about sort of being in the moment, being in the experience. And with something sort of as everyday as, simple eggs for breakfast, eggs for, in this case, lunch, that means if we can feel good in those moments, then we can feel good in huge chunks, huge swaths of our life. So let's get started and talk to you about what I have in front of me. I have some dill. This is one of my favorite herbs to have in eggs. I actually might also grab some scallions just to do a little bit more with you today. But I find that like a simple dill and cheddar omelet is phenomenal. Like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just dill and eggs. The beautiful grassiness of them, to me, is a combination that is really heavenly and doesn't need much more than that, to just really enjoy it. This simple meal. And I think it feels luxurious and special and sensual and all those good things just on its own. So we have dill, and I'm going to get some scallions too. And I wanted to make like a little, because I like to have, we're going to have a nice omelet and then a little salad, some veggies on the side. And I was just inspired to get these little cutie bok choys today because, I don't know, I wasn't feeling the lettuces. So we're going to figure something out with these bok choys. Maybe first, actually. I think I'm just going to split one of them in half. It'll probably be enough, maybe a quarter. So nice. So pretty. Very bitter flavor to the leaves. How beautiful it is. All these layers. Like a little Russian doll. Absolutely gorgeous. And so we're going to have these. I really love the sort of plump and juicy leaves that we have down here. So I think we'll put that in the pan with some, I don't know, maybe some soy sauce. I'm going to grab some stuff and see what makes sense to me. But we'll do that in just a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to grab just a little bunch of dill. I'm just going to grab this because I'm just making an omelet for myself. I'm going to make myself a 3-egg omelet. So a little bunch of dill. It is a absolute requirement that you smell it. Maybe play with it a little bit. And I know I take so long when I'm doing these things, and especially with something as simple as this, I'm really, really taking my time. And please do know that in order to be mindful, in order to be embodied, these things that I'm trying to teach and show you sort of how to really take pleasure, play, have fun, be calm, be peaceful, be present, all of those good things, you do not have to take a long time at all. It's just so informative to take more time to show you, but you can get these good calming feelings, a sense of centeredness, this self-exploration, all of that good stuff you can have in 5 minutes, for sure. It's just that I really want to show you everything in detail. So we're going to chop this up a little bit. Let it rain down into the bowl. And I'm going to do 1 scallion as well. So many possibilities of what you could put in here. Truly, I love fresh herbs mixed in with the eggs. And I love also little scallions mixed in with the eggs. It's very traditional. You can see it in so many places. And it's because it goes together well and it's delicious and pretty. Going faster and faster and faster. Speeding up, slowing down. Speeding up, slowing down. So there we have it. A lot of scallions for 3 eggs. It's a lot of greenery for 3 eggs. It'll be a packed little omelet. So I'm kind of going to teach you like the sort of French style today, not the sort of big old American heaping full thing. Just a really simple cooking the egg, rolling it up. I think I'm going to add, just to show you that you can add things to something like this as well, a few tomatoes, because I have them here. And they go nicely with all these flavors, but I'm not going to do much. This really isn't going to be a super full thing. Take these baby tomatoes and just slice them up. Woo! I'll set that aside over here. And now the other thing that I'm going to prepare is a little bit of cheese, because really you can make an omelet without cheese. I do it quite often actually, but it sort of feels like it's just supposed to have cheese in it. And so this is a aged cheddar that I just always have on hand. This is sort of my go-to favorite. And just a few pulls of it, really not much cheese. This will absolutely add so much flavor without being, too heavy. Okay, then I put some of these guys away. And I am breathing. All right. And now I'm going to crack the eggs in here. And so if this is your breakfast or if this is your lunch or anything we're talking about, this is so simple. And this is also just for me that I'm making it. Maybe you're making it just for you, or if you're making it for multiple people, it's a little bit of a different experience. But to just allow yourself to be really reverent in the way that you're approaching this, reverent in making something for yourself. Allow it to be like the most beautiful thing you've ever made, the most beautiful thing you've ever done for yourself. And I know that sounds so kind of over the top, but it's all in the way that we see things. And we decide with sort of our intention that this is, I am doing something so beautiful, so special for myself, to celebrate myself, then it is. Why shouldn't we have as much of that as possible in our lives? Look at these two beautiful yolks. Beautiful bright orange yolks. The aromas are kind of coming back at me again. There's something about eggs and all these really simple ingredients that does just make me personally feel much more aware of, these eggs came from chickens. We got them. They were put in here and they're brought to me. And now I get to use them to eat, to nourish my body, to do the things in the world that I want to do. It's pretty special. And now I'm going to whisk this up, or whisk it with my fork. And that's it. Sometimes people add milk or even a little water, cream or something to an omelet, but you do not need anything but egg. And then we're going to add the salt and the rest in the pan. So that is it. And I'm going to have to move the camera and everything over here. So I'm just going to I want to get a beautiful plate to put this on at the end so we can really appreciate our efforts. So it's kind of my favorite plate at the moment, this beautiful blue plate. I'm going to put that out here. We're going to be ready to make that beautiful. And then I am going to make the bok choy first because I'm going to use the same pan. I'm going to think about what I want here. Definitely a little tamari. And maybe just a little bit of chili. Maybe not though. Maybe I'll add that at the end. Okay, so here we go. I am going to bring the camera setup over and around. Please bear with me. Okay. So I think you guys can see me okay. Yeah, looks good. Thank you again for always bearing with this situation. So I am going to get some new frying pan soon so you guys can all see it much better than in this dark pan. Although it's wonderfully functional, I absolutely love it. It is hard for everyone to see. So I'm going to turn this up to good old medium heat. This tends to be the go-to. And I'm going to add a little bit of oil. Whoop. That's not even opened yet. You know what? I'll use my older olive oil. Just cooking oil. A little bit in there. And I'm going to do this. You know, I'm almost thinking more like a sort of teriyaki situation. Kind of a weird combination with my other thing, but yeah, like a little soy and a little maple syrup on these. Why not, right? We experiment. That's what we're doing. We're experimenting. We're letting ourselves play. And if I feel drawn to that combination right now, maybe there's a reason. Maybe it's going to be super fantastic. Maybe my body just wants something more sweet right now. I don't know. But I am going to take a chance on myself and listen. And I encourage you to do the same. That is what this is all about. We've got some heat here. We're going to add our beautiful little bok choys. And tell me what you're making with your omelet, if you're making anything. What are you going to have with it? You could have a little salad. You're going to drizzle something on there. Do you have some leftover veggies? Something completely different that I haven't even thought of? Let me know. Because I kind of like threw this bok choy at you. Sprinkle a tiny bit of salt. Kind of just let these sizzle. Let this be our meditation today. Breathing. Trusting that with every breath, we're exactly where we need to be. Doing exactly what we need to be doing. Softening and relaxing. I'm grabbing some tongs. I can flip these. Woo! How are we doing? Okay. They're not charred yet, so I'll leave them. And to add in. It's loud, right? I just feel like I don't want to interrupt it. It's like singing to us. As this bok choy sings its song, it tells us how it wants to be treated. What it wants to be today. This beautiful creative process of cooking. That you really don't have to try so hard at, you know. You can just listen. I truly feel so deeply soothed by this sound and the smells and the heat. And the sort of fun, the slight edge of excitement of what will this be like? What will they be like? Beautiful. I think these are basically done. I'm going to turn this off and grab that little plate from earlier. I'm going to rest these beauties. There we go. So beautiful. And it's really hot. I'm sort of nervous to try it. I'll try the leaf part. I like it. Cool. Okay, so this is super hot. Might even still be warm by the time we finish up our omelet. I'm now going to just quickly wipe out this pan, and then we will start on our omelet. Okay. Sizzle, sizzle. And so I just want to kind of set the scene here, because making an omelet kind of has a reputation, right? It's like, oh, in a French kitchen, you know, this is how you get a job, is you show how you make an omelet. And it's really the proof of your excellence. And it's also sort of a quick process. And when something is quick, where you have to be reacting, moving quickly, noticing, doing, that can bring some energy into the body that is like that fast pace that we can kind of experience as like anxiety, as nervousness. And to just notice, I guess, the difference between being nervous, like, oh my gosh, like the feeling of moving quickly versus the feeling of having to be reacting to a problem. Like, none of this is a problem. There is no problem. If you don't go quickly enough and the eggs are a little bit brown or not the sort of ideal cooked egg that you particularly want, that's okay. You know, a friend of mine was obsessed with making omelets for like, I want to say a year. Maybe it was only 6 months, but it was a long time. And he was making one every day to sort of try to perfect it. It was a very funny and sweet process. And you can do it that way if you want. to really try to sort of get it right, get a sense of your own rhythm. And you also will always be happy to eat whatever you have, I hope. So there's no consequences, you know, there's no emergency. And so that feeling of rushing, for me, I try to sort of transmute it from nervousness into excitement, into just enjoyment of movement and doing something quickly. So just to sort of plant that little seed in you here to bring down sort of the sense of like, oh my gosh, I'm really moving quickly. And then I'll also just take you through what we're going to do so that as I'm moving quickly, you can kind of see it. You can set yourself up for that. We're going to add some butter to the pan, and then we're going to let it melt. And then I'm going to add in the eggs. I'm going to kind of move it around so that the eggs are all around. And we're just doing a 3-egg omelet. This is a pretty big pan. So it could cook almost completely right away. Like we're talking really, really quick here. And this is kind of vulnerable for me too, because I'm probably not going to do a perfect job with this. And you'll see, you know, that I'm not perfect at this type of thing, as I'm sure you know by now. I'm going to add in the cheese and tomatoes right away. I'm going to salt it, and then I'm going to take this and sort of roll it up, and we'll scoop it out. So that's the whole process. And you'll see that you can do it. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to add some butter. I don't know what this is, not even a tablespoon. You could add quite a bit. I think my friend who was really into making omelets for a while would say, add more butter. Really get it slooshy. Okay. Lovely. Sizzling is happening. Gently, gently, gently. The quietest sizzling. And here we have our eggs earlier. Like I said, I'm just going to do exactly what I said. We're on a medium-high heat. I'm going to add in the eggs. And I'm going to tip the pan a little bit. All over. And as you can see, it's cooking unevenly. It is cooking around here. It's cooking there. We're going to add salt in quickly. And we'd add pepper if I had a pepper grinder. I can't believe I still don't have a pepper grinder. It's comical, actually. And it's cooking much faster here. So I'll probably start rolling from the side. I'm also moving it over so it can cook a little more evenly. I'm going to grab our cheese and tomato. See, I'm moving quickly, but I can still be calm as I'm sort of prepared. Of course, I also have a lot of experience at this, so if you don't feel totally calm, that's okay too. It's always okay to feel whatever it is you're feeling. I just want to bring your attention to it so that you can experience more of what you want to feel. You know, that's all this is about. We're almost cooked. Look, we have this. We have just a little bit of wetness in here. And you can see the cheese is getting melted. And so I'm going to start flipping this. Whew, it's so thin, beautiful. Okay, I'm going to roll, roll, roll. I'm lifting it up just a little bit at a time and rolling it. Taking a deep breath to calm myself as I try to do this as well as I can, so I can show you guys. And at the same time, you know what? I also want you to know this isn't that easy. It isn't. Making a perfect omelet, like there's a reason. It's a thing, like getting it just right. It takes technique, thinking. Okay, we're almost good here. I can see the edge is actually good now because I've brought it over onto the heat. It's really just this one edge that's a little underdone. But I kind of like that. So I am going to bring over my plate and just try to bring this up onto the plate as quickly as I can. Oh my gosh, I am breaking it. Wow. I needed a bigger. All right, you know what? I'm going to cut it in half so I can do this effectively. One part, 2 parts. Beautiful. And so as you can see, this is very far from perfect. Turn off the heat. Very far from perfect. There's a little bit of brown. You know, in an ideal French omelet, you just want it to be the color of cooked egg, no brown, because the browning makes it a little tougher, a little rubberier. But there's still some slight moisture in there. There's the gooiness from the cheese. It's looking, oh, I just tasted a tiny bit of it. It's good. So I'm going to test it. There's all the steam rising. It smells incredible. There's a little bit of cheese gooping out. May not be the perfect omelet, but it's wonderful. It has all the flavors that I like. The delicious egg, the unctuous cheese, and the bright dill and scallion sort of cutting through it all, and the bits of refreshing tomato. I didn't think I need a knife for these juicy bok choy bits, but but they're wonderful too. So this is a beautiful meal. Thank you so much for joining me in this little adventure of making something just really simple. This was wonderful. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy. Go off, take some time for yourself. Take it in, take in the experience, feel the gratitude of all that is here for yourself and for everyone involved. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.